Hello guys, welcome back to the Forensics Unplugged channel. Been struggling to keep up with the Unplugged channel lately. Bear with me, we should get some more content going on there soon. What's going on today? Well, I'm going to be aiming to swap out this car and drive this for a couple of weeks because it's been sitting idle and it needs to be run. So I'm really looking forward to just something simple like swapping cars around because I love driving this old Betsy. I love it. It's a complete contrast. You get in here and like everything creaks, like, and you fire it up and it's sort of, I can smell the petrol, like where it's running a bit rich from where I've just moved it. And it just feels a bit old, but I love it. And it's pretty tidy in there, you know, it's nice. Anyway, great car. What I'm doing today, guys, is I've just finished doing the promotional video with Soft 99 and demoing Fuso coat, you know, and what it does, and throwing the dirty water on it, you know, with it half the card Fusoed and, you know, half the car glaccoed, half the screen glaccoed. Now, sorry, I'm not pointing the camera in the right place. I already know Fuso's a good product. You know, it's a really good product. It's durable. It's really beady. And it's pretty cheap, you know, and you get, that will last you forever. You know, it's a known quantity, Fuso. And Glacco is a known quantity as well. It's been around for donkey's years. So, you know, they're all well and good, and I've got them on the car now, although I haven't fully. It's one of the reasons I'm doing this video is I've got to put it on the other half of this glass and the little gap I've got on this one. But this product here is the product I've never used before. And this product, I think, is brilliant. Probably the best glass polish I've ever used in my life. And it's just brilliant. I'm trying to think about telling you what's bad about it. Well, it's a little bit messy because it's a polish. So what I do is I wipe off the excess residue and then rinse it, rather than just rinsing it, and you'll get all that brown fluid all over the side of your car if it's clean. So if you're just going to rinse it, make sure you're doing it when the car's wet. But this strips you down to bare glass like nothing else I've seen before. You know, I talk about that scummy film that you get on the car that you kind of see sometimes when you get like a wet microfiber and you run it over the glass. Then you see that like patchy thing where it's misty, and then as it dries, it goes clear. But you know that patchiness is still there. Well, like even using the little machine and a pad and trying to buff that off is hard work. But this, by hand, just strips it off. And you got a completely clean, totally clean glass with no, like, film over it. And I show it in that video on here. I show it on that video where we cleaned off this section. And you saw the old section, okay, that had the scummy stuff on it. You know, and you could see the difference. Go and watch that video. What I've done is I've cleaned the whole glass. Okay, so that's been cleaned, but that's been cleaned and protected. So this glass here is basically ready to be protected with the Glacco as well. Because I don't want half a bit of glass protected and half unprotected. Same on my front screen, because that's going to be rubbish. So I don't have to really go to town, but all I'm going to do is just spray a little bit of panel wipe on this cloth just to make sure it's fully ready to go. And I think one thing I might have forgotten, yeah, I might have forgotten to buff that little top line when I did it. I don't know, I can't remember. So we'll just, normally I don't use these cloths for glass, but I'm not buffing hard. It's just a little light sort of prep, precursory prep. There we go, we'll just let that flash off. We'll put a bit more there. Oh, make sure that is panel wipe, yeah. Good. And we'll do the same over here. Just make sure we're prepped. Get any dust off of there. Just give it a light wipe. Because again, this has been polished as well. And it just strips everything down. So what you should get is when you're stripped, when you strip your glass, it should be really hydrophilic. So you get like the sheeting over it. And what you'll probably notice on your car, if you spray water over it, you'll see where the arc of the windscreen wiper goes. It's hydrophilic. And up here, where the arc isn't, it's hydrophobic. And that's because this rubber blade is just worn off whatever is there down to the bare glass. Whereas the rest of the glass has got something on there. You know, it could be a spray and rinse product, or it could be the factory. You know, most glass seems to have a hydrophobic thing on it. Now, that's done. Let's just dry that off. Okay. Well, now let's just take our Glaccuccino, our cappuccino. Come on, John, strength, got it. Give it a little shaky. Make sure we've got some product on here. You hear it making that funny noise, and you're just going to start seeing it go wet, and then you know, yeah, there we go, it's wet. So we're putting film down, if you can see. So we'll just go across. Once it's wet, don't squeeze it or it will become soaked. You're going to have too much liquid. I'm struggling to get into that corner. I'll do that with I'll just do a little, you poke a little cloth in there or something. Right, and then we'll go up and down. A bit hard to do this with the camera in one hand. Right, that'll just mean we've got the coverage. How can I get that in the corner? How can I get that in the corner? Improvise, use a little bit of clothy. I'll just use a little bit of the clothy there. And we'll poke that in, just so we can get a bit of it on down on that bottom bit as well. And we'll just wipe off any excess there as well. And now we just let that dry out. Forgive the sniff. It's quite humid in here. So while that's drying, let's go and do the front screen as well. We won't need to wet this out, which is the good news. So we'll just put that on, and then let's just do this one a bit quicker. Dum 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 dum. Right. Right, that'll do. And then let's do the up and downage. Okay. There we go. We'll be able to give it 5 minutes and then go back. Make sure we get all those edges. And just up and down here. Okay. Just make sure we got a good line there. Good. Okay. And we'll let that dry out. You don't need to put any on the wiper blades either, guys. Well, I'll show you. I'm not getting any judder or anything like that. So it seems like it genuinely lowers grip, you know, slippier, PTFE, Fuso stuff. So it's quite good on the old non-juddering things as well. What was the other thing I want to talk about? Yeah, I'm also going to be having a look at this stuff. Never, ever used it. It's very rare for Built Hammer to have a product I haven't used. This has been around for a while. It's just a liquid wax. But just like a liquid wax. I think it's solvent based, which is a little bit rarer now. But let's just take that off. Yeah, it smells like it's got a solvent base. I can smell their sort of cleanser fluid type hydrocarbon in there, which is probably, you know, probably the thing they're using. So I like liquid waxes because I can reset the paintwork easier by applying them by machine. So the pad and the wax just scrub the surface clean. So you can get over that bonnet. It puts a thinner layer of product down, so it's typically easier to buff if you put it on by a machine. And you can just cover, you know, a paste wax here, you're putting it down and it's quite thick, and it's hard work doing this all the way around every single inch of the car. Whereas when you're on the machine, it's just like done. So yeah, what do I expect? I was about to say I don't expect this to last as long as double speed wax. Just don't know. Normally they don't. I expect it to last longer than some of my other ones. So built hammer are usually pretty decent on durability. The key thing for me is though, so I expect this to last longer, but I want a good buff from it as well. I want a nice buff, no oily buff with any sort of greasy buffer trails. That's really important to me. Now, I should use a glass cloth to buff this off, a waffle, but I don't want to. I've just done all my washing. I don't want to create another load, so I'm just going to use another one of my grey edgeless ones. Just buff, hopefully gently, so I don't put fibres down. Now let's just give this a buff off. It really is pretty easy. This is good product, this. Let's just make sure we get the top. The dust on my car. Oh, I know, yeah. I was wondering why it's a bit dirty. It's been throwing buckets of muddy water over it. What the hell's going on here? Has this been 5 minutes? Well, I don't know. Looks dry to me, so we'll just buff it off. Always get the edge. Always get the edge. Create that gap and flatten out your cloth. Should probably glove up, but I'll operate the camera. Oh, look how easy it is. See that? Just nice. That's it, done. Just make sure. Just do the due diligence buff. Sanity buff. There we go. And look, there's no water on this. Oh, shit, sugar lumps. I just want to show you, even bone dry wiper blades aren't going to judder. Judder now. It won't judder. Not from what I've seen. And it's bone dry. And you can see in there, it's clear. So let's put these on. Here we go. Look at that. No judder. That's bone dry. So you imagine when it gets wet. How do I stop that? There we go. So it's good. Not many glass sealants tick all the boxes. Could I be converted? Could I be converted? I'm lazy, that's my problem. I like the car feeling like it's clean, but I don't want to be, you know, I've got two cars that I like to maintain. I don't know, possibly could be converted. Certainly converted. What I don't want to be doing is doing the glass every like couple of months when it starts losing it. So I don't know if you can do 12 months. Maybe I'm converted. Right, that's the glass covered. What's the next thing? We've talked about the built hammer Hydro Wax. I hope this is good stuff. Really do. I'm sure it will be. It will never fully replace these other products though, even if it outlasts them, because I have a soft spot for my buttery wax. Even though it lasts like 2 weeks or something, I still really like this product. It's not all about durability. I don't know. What else is going on? Let me just grab something here outside, and we'll take this brushy washy. Come with me. We also have our graphene thing, so I'm leaving this panel out. Oh, it's a beautiful day. There's a dive bomber up there. A pigeon. Stay away from my car. Right, so what we'll do is just get some things. I want to have a word with Imre and see if I can get him to stock these big blasters. They are so good. Let's just smother a panel with it. You see this? Hold on. Just the draw on it is just the barrel size. It's like it's as big as my thumb. Yes, I've got lots of nail. I use that to pick on my guitar. It's not because I like having long nails. Although sometimes, why not? Right, so let's just wipe this down. I'm going to be doing this periodically. This is just, you know, smashing down these waxes. So we'll just leave that on there for a bit, as if we're washing the car with a bit of APC, Surfex. This will hurt them though. So we have wax 27 there, which I think is the SiO2 wax, but I could be wrong. That one there, which I think is the graphene, but I could be wrong. And that one, which I think is the wax with no SiO2 or graphene, just a plain wax, 43 I think it is. But I could be wrong. Very hard. This durability test, I don't think is going to tell me anything. I don't think it's going to tell me anything. Although, my prediction is the middle one will suffer the most. The one with the graphene in it will have the least, oh, careful, durability, because it's a micronized powder. And even though it's tiny particle sizes, it's still a micronized powder, and that is going to fall out of the dispersion, out of the film, as the film erodes away and leave holes and make the wax more permeable. So let's rinse it. We'll get a bit of pressure. Resisting. Yeah, they're virtually identical. That's interesting. Yeah, the middle, maybe it's because it's flexing a little bit. Just hold on a second. That looks like it's suffering the most. Or maybe not. There's not much in it, is there? No, that's suffering the most. That's probably blown my theory out the window. I don't know. The one in the middle is suffering the least. That's suffered the most. So just the plain, what I think is the plain wax has suffered the most. In that one. In that one. Not much in it though. Okay. Wet feet. Idiot. Right. That's that. Yeah, so Imran, if you're watching, I'm going to be in contact with you today. Because I think these trigger sprays are worth stocking. You know, generally, if I want it, other people will. It just transforms this bottle, even though it looked better in black. It's just much better product with these Toco trigger heads on it. Just the perfect trigger. So good. Beefy old drawer. That's what you want. You want, you know, the ones that do the double pump, you lose the control. And this still puts through more product with just a single pump than those double pumps do because of the size of the barrel. But you can also use this with glass cleaners and things, detail sprays, where you want to be able to just control it and mist it and put less on and have the control rather than the throughput. So it really is the perfect trigger for me. And it seems to be robust. And it doesn't, most importantly, it doesn't hurt your hand because they've thought about the back of it. And you can get all your fingers on it. So you're not just using 2 fingers, so you can use it without getting your hand fatiguing. It's little things like this that are important. It doesn't look that great though, does it? But if they just made it black, it would look better. Let's just clean my brush off. Yep. Let's rinse this out. Seen some action, this thing. Now, that's that. There was another thing I wanted to talk about today in this very informal video. I'll just use that to just reset the panels. Bear with me, sorry, I'm just doing my schnozzle. Oh, let's make a note of our hydrophobicity test. So I think 43, the water repellency was, this good average pour thing isn't the best way to do it, really. But let's just say average and then good, so we know there's a difference. So I suspect wax, graphene. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna have to pause this. Hold on, I'll be in a second. SIO who, right. So that is today's exciting instalment of the Unplugged channel. She wants me to do something. Take care and I'll see you soon, guys.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I